in the chuck at the moment is that piece of steel that I messed up on those 6 TPI thread where I was cutting a double thread. So that's the bit, so it's not gone completely to waste. So what I'm going to do with it, or what I've done with it so far, is the bit that was threaded is now on here. Now I didn't have any way of well, there wasn't any scale on here, so what I've done is I've turned this little piece to go on. I'm not sure how well you're going to see this, but let's see if I can zoom in for you. I really don't know how that's going to work. Is that going to be too glary? But around here I've actually scratched, and I did it on there. I've made it all up, or turned it, bored it. It's got a 1-inch recess in there to fit over that. Doesn't quite fit flush up because it's hitting on this, but I actually scratched some marks around there, so I can tell how far I'm moving stuff, lock it in position and alter it. But what I've done for the increments for the scratch lines is I used the bolt gear on the spindle, and that's a 65 tooth bull gear. So knowing that this is every turn is 1/8 of an inch of an 8 TPI lead screw, so that's 125 thou. So 64 on there, each one roughly represents 2 thou. There's 64 increments around there, so there's 130 marks around there. So it's 5 amiss. But I think for the accuracy I'm doing, I think being near enough, it's slightly under 2 thou, isn't it? Very, very slightly, just by tenths. So I can actually see on there, I've got a scratch line on here, and there is a scratch line there. It's in 5s, or 10, sorry. You've got 1 long mark, and then there's 4 short marks, long mark, 4 short marks. So each short little mark is 2 thou, and then 10 thou between each of the long marks. I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera, but so that's what's happened there. Let's bring you back out again, and I'll explain what I'm going to do with the rest of the piece of steel, or attempt to do. Now this here, I was going to see if I could machine this, cut it down in size, bore it out, thread it to, I think it was 1 1/16 by 20 thread inside, so that will fit on the spindle of my pillar drill. But I tried cutting this, and it did manage to score it a bit, but sparks were coming off on that. So this is really, really quite hard. So that isn't gonna, I'm not going to be able to do anything with that. So what I'm going to do is see if I can replicate just this end of it on here. So that is 40mm diameter, and I've turned that to 40mm now. I've put a little recess in there for where the end of the thread's going to drop into. So I'm going to have a go at tapping that. That's the thread on there. So I'm going to have a go at tapping that. That is a 1.5mm pitch, so 40mm across. So I'm going to set up the change gears for it, which according to my chart, I've got print offs of all what I need. My metrics are down here. So my 1.5 is, I want 60 on the tumbler mandrel, driving a 40, and that compounded with a 20, and then the wheel on the screw is 127. So 127 is the metrics. So I'm going to set that up. I've got a thread cutting bit in there, and I'm going to have a go at cutting a 1.5mm pitch thread. So I'll just get the change gears set up and we'll have a look, see how that goes. Right, it's all set up on there. We've got 60 on there, 40 onto a 20 onto the 127, which is what we've got on here for a 1.5. 60 onto a 40 to a 20 and a 127. So let's move you over a little bit. Let's put you there for now. I think what we'll do is see about doing a scratch pass, just so we know that we are in the right area. That should do. Okay. That will meet up. Okay. Right, let's engage the back gear. And we should be able to, hopefully, engage the tumbler gear. That should work then, shouldn't it? There we go. I'm going to do this by hand. I don't want to wind anything in here under power. We're a little too deep there. It's picking up a little bit, isn't it? That'll do. It is only just scratching. That. Right. Thread gauge is 1.5 and we are spot on. Perhaps even look at it with that. Yep. That is perfect. Okay, now I need a bit of room to do this, so I may just, I've got a way I can set you up so you're actually mounted onto the carriage, which I think is what I'll do, and that's putting this in. Tighten up on that. I'll swap it up. Okay, how's that for a view? Alright, let's wind the carriage backwards. There. Wind this in. Now I want to establish a mark, don't I, to wind it back to. I'm going to set this little thing. Just put a mark there so I know where I'm going to. Rub that one out, but I don't want that one. That's it. And goes back to there. I'll tighten the cross slide screw just a little bit. That's it. Okay. So if I put that in the forward position now, I've not put any feed on. We'll see what happens. Wind out one turn. Wind in one turn to my mark. A little bit of feed on. Forward again. Need to stop it before then, don't I? Because it's just gone over on that back edge. Okay, it's all good practice. I know what I'm going to have to do. I've got to set this top slide, haven't I? To, well, I think most of them do it to 29 degrees. Hold on. Okay. shall we see? Probably should have tapered that edge first, shouldn't I? Yeah. I just think I should have tapered that edge. I think I might take it just a little bit more. Still gonna want a little bit more than it.